Good afternoon, beautiful people of Earth and all inter, extra, ultra dimensionals. So today is the 22nd of November 2022. It's currently 12:20 p.m. I had a really epically rough night, so not feeling too great. And part of that is anxiety driven because I'm gearing up to go to the city tomorrow to see the wonderful urologist. So I've had 2 nights of very bad sleep and very epic, overly exercised, overly active bladder. I noticed oddly that my neighbour was up a lot through the night too. It makes me wonder if he's also experiencing prostate or bladder problems. I'm convinced we're all suffering from radiation poisoning. I know I sound paranoid, but it's just weird how my dog died of bladder issues, my cat's died of bladder issues, I've got bladder issues, my neighbour's got bladder issues. I'm pretty convinced of it. I do see him from time to time having his blankets, hung out to dry, which happens from time to time. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening to us as a nation, right? It's a worry, people. It's a great worry. So anyway, I finally got to sleep somewhere around 5 a.m. after being moshing my whole body up and down all night, getting up to pee and not sleep. I was even awake from like 3 till 4 on YouTube watching stuff because I was like, well, I'm not sleeping. I might as well do something with my brain, right? All that blue light's not good because that stimulates your pituitary gland and keeps you awake as well, quite frankly. Would have been better off reading a book. So I get woken up at 11 by my neighbour, who I don't know when he ever sleeps, because he doesn't sleep much either. Not that I live in his pocket and worry about what he does, but because we live so close, I can't help noticing that every time I get up to get a drink in the night, his light goes on, and that can't be an accident. He must be awake, he must be. Surely he's not watching me all through the night, though. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. I'm not that frickin' paranoid. But yeah, it's so he wakes me up this morning tooting his bloody horn, and it was just a light toot. So I thought, in my half-asleep state, because I was just coming to consciousness, that it was a postman coming with the silver I ordered. So I yell out, "Just a minute!" And I had to go to my wardrobe, throw on my dressing gown, run outside. I go out, there's no postman there, and I thought, oh, maybe he's come in the van and he's parked further down the road. So I went down the stairs and I looked, and it's my bloody neighbour Tim Sarr sitting in his 4-wheel drive just staring at me like a mullet. Anyway, I just ignored it because I thought, well, he's not to know that I'm awake and reactive waiting for a parcel to arrive. So I walked to the front gate to check the mail anyway, just in case they had already been and gone prior to that event. No. So then I was fair pissed off because I literally lurched out of bed from deep sleep to hit the ground running, which I can do because I used to be a mother of young children, and any woman who's had very young children and babies can literally arise to full consciousness and what her limbic brain deems an emergency, right? Because it's just, it's part of the PTSD I suppose I have too. So anyway, so I'm fair pissed off now because I got dragged out of bed for nothing. So I lumber back in, and then I thought, oh well, let's face it, it's after 11 o'clock, it's time to be functioning in the world. So I watched some YouTube video and fed Charlie, and I've just had a shower and washed my hair. So here I am, fully functioning at 12:24 p.m, but I'm also kind of dead as well. Lack of sleep and overactivation will do that to a woman. So it's a sort of a weird rainy day, and it rained a lot yesterday, and I'm glad of the rain, but it's sort of, I'm intermittently trying to get washing dry, so it's getting a little bit annoying now, but rain is good, people. We've had a long drought, so rain is good. But I'm going to have to start bringing things inside and drying them inside, or I'm going to run out of underwear, and then it's going to be a pain in the bottom, and anyway. But rain is good, people. Express gratitude and joy for the sweetness from the Shafta Mayim from the heavens. So today's readings are of 22nd of November, and so we begin. And so it begins. 22nd of November 2022. Utterly exhausted. I made another bangle today. I just finished it an hour ago. It might need a patina. I am waiting to hear if my friend's partner likes it and if he wants me to patina it. The last photo is the huge bangle I made yesterday, or really a cuff. I put it in a patina soak this afternoon. I love the blue colours. I hope they remain when I wash it off. So here it is, my copper cuffs that I was making. And here is the one with the patina. You can see me still got it in the solution, creating that lovely blue colour. So 22nd of November 2021. All hail the spirits of my dearly beloveds and my arch nemesis. Our spiritual connections and emotional attachments have always surpassed time and space. I've got this blinking blowfly buzzing around me, but I don't know how he got in the house because I have fly screens on the house. So one fly has been annoying me now for 2 days. Like a demonic infestation, right? Anyway, I've got fly spray, I could kill him. It's only one fly. But it's just weird how you get one random fly, right? Anyway, sorry, I had to segue there. I honour your gifts of recognition and honour, even if it took my enemy's death to realise my power and my true heart, A pity I could not do that in life. Much love to Susie van der Kwast, who visited me in a dream in 2018 on this day. Visitations from spirits of newly deceased friends or family or associates, including enemies, happen frequently. And even long ago deceased spirits, like when Sir James Douglas appeared beside my bed in 2018. That was a mind flip. Usually within 3 weeks of their death. Usually I had no idea they had passed, as happened with both Susie van der Kwast and David Davidson. They appeared to me 3 weeks after their death. Well, she appeared in a dream and he manifested as a 3D reality person. I couldn't see him, but the sounds of him punching his fist on the door sounded like a policeman door knocking, and I could hear the boots running up the stairs. So he was a powerful spirit, that motherfucker. He really was. To be able to manifest that powerfully as though he was still living in human form. That takes a lot of energy, people. So he was fairly desperate to get to me. 4 nights. And each night the sound faded slightly more, eventually it faded away, especially after the third day when I actually found out, rather miraculously, who it was that was haunting my door, which was astonishing, absolutely astonishing, that I even found out the way I did. So I continue. I see it as a mark of honour that they cannot leave this mortal coil without their long, sometimes inappropriate and unwelcome goodbye. For example, the ghost of that evil bastard David Davidson in early June 2016, who haunted my front door for exactly 4 nights. Ho-hum, tiddly-pom, life goes on, even with the current COVID paradigm. I am exhausted today as I spent the last 3 days upcycling an old cutlery canteen that I bought from a woman who asked me to cherish it, as it was hard for her to part with, as her Irish grandparents brought it out to Australia when they migrated here. I told her I too had Irish ancestors. My great-great-grandparents came from Dublin via Sheerness in Kent. She was delighted that the box was going to another Irish woman and was meant to be. I assured her that the old Irish eyes would indeed be smiling. I took a photo of the box after I completed it and sent it to her so she could see the results. She was glad. Rain at long last. Hallelujah. 22nd of November 2020. And here I am with my beautiful, beloved soulmate, the only one, him of the beautiful regard. Monsieur Le Beauregard. And he didn't like photos being taken, usually. Don't mind the big fat hobbit belly. I said, let's get a photo together, Bobo. He was snuggling with the mama. He hates being photographed and the mama tea, paparazzi. But I said, you ready? Smile. And I do declare he smiled, even with a little flash in his little eyeballs. 22nd of November 2019. I just had my debrief with my esteemed and worthy doctor, in trepidation of being committed or invalidated, a life phobia after epic abuse and false slanders by my core family that I am crazy. I showed him my video I made about Prince Andrew. When he saw it, he said, "Oh, wow." He said I had finally tapped into my own truth, that I am not crazy, and found who I am, and finally am comfortable standing in my own truth, and have finally embraced my own darkness. He said, I have found some deep healing outside of the containment of his office. I thanked him for standing with me in our 10 years of therapy, for being so brave and such a strong fighter for me. Example, in the 2015 suicide attempt debacle, where they slandered and misdiagnosed me and abused me again, sending me home at 4 a.m. without a working phone or a key to my house. It was disgusting how I was treated. But anyway, I'm alive, ain't I? Because I'm stubborn and brave and truth-speaking and truth-seeking and wild and free. I told him that in one of my videos, I complain about his interruptive phone calls, but I had expressed my gratitude and appreciation about the long bloody haul it has been to sustain me in all my intensity for 10 years, and it's now, well, according to this time frame, it's 14 years, but I actually thought it's only 13 years. So time is slipping away from me. But I'm pretty sure I've been in therapy with this current doctor for 13 years. And he has been a wonderful ally and doctor to me. And I am grateful. I am turning some kind of corner with the love and support of my doctor, true friends, and the universal consciousness, and a little powerful spirit woman named Lilith Giggles. Well, not so little, and a bit more than just a spirit woman. But anyway, I don't think she's working with me anymore. I think someone else has taken over from her role. And she was helping me get through the recovery from that gallbladder surgery, which was epic, absolutely epic. Now more just creative and in touch with powerful beings who have demonstrated 1,000 times that truth and honour is mine, and they, the unseen ones, really do have my back. Grateful, humble, awestruck, loving woman here. I have been dancing for 8 years in dens of iniquity and on holy ground in church halls with ecstatic dance. I have gradually healed myself and sometimes others while dancing through my life and my fragile human condition, even in the face of so much abuse. I highly recommend dancing, no matter what. Fight for your right to express yourself via your own body, mind, and soul. And that was in response to a Gaia.com video called Healing Matrix, Healing Through Dance. $11:11 a.m. This is still in 2019. It was a powerful year for me too. Very powerful, very painful recovering from that surgery, but powerful beyond words. Having Lilith come to my assistance and show me alchemical symbols that didn't make sense then, but perfectly reflect my current paradigm, working with silver and finding my way in this cosmos. $11:11 a.m., another day in paradise. A hot day, of course, but a nice wind cooled me down slightly. Drinking coffee in the company of my beautiful pets, my earthy angels. Love them greatly. I have signed up to go to another Tara Puja. It was a beautiful spiritual experience, and I have witnessed great changes since the last one. Perhaps a coincidence, but I have put a lot of spiritual work into healing not just Miss Sophie Zombie Cat, who had a long, slow transition, but my own former zombie, ever-blossoming, phoenix-burning and regenerating self. Size, formidable. I always want to say it the French way, formidable. It sounds so much better, doesn't it? Everything sounds better in French, babies. But I feel beautiful and powerful and grateful to the gods in all their various manifestations. I wonder if Lilith is still working with me. I have to trust my own spirit more, grow in my own mana even more. There is something wonderful and spectacular on the horizon, even if I cannot know just what as yet. The bastard possum ate more roses, hardly any buds left now. I will have to buy some scat, which Lynn assures me is not toxic to animals, but will repel them. Not so sure about that, but for fuck's sake, there are plenty of other yummy things to eat apart from my roses. Bad possum. Here's a photo of my last remaining pet, my girl Charlie, who I should be taking outside in the garden since the sun has peeked out temporarily. Socks has booted off again, 3 days now, but I'm not overly worried as he has always done this. I am sure he will be back. I have been around the neighbourhood for a walk with Bobo and no sign of Socks, but however, there is a dead possum lying on the verge across the road. I wonder if that was Socks, but if it were him, he would have eaten it. Ah well. 22nd of November 2018. I took the Beau and Charlie Bird for a walk around the block. The moon is full and rather yummy. We walked under a power line proudly sporting a very confused tawny frogmouth who had never before seen a rainbow lorikeet on a moonlight promenade kissing his human mama before. This was before I found out Charlie's a female. I giggled at my love life. It truly is for the birds. But at least I know I am completely, utterly adored by beings of light and truth and integrity, and who delight in my company and would never willingly betray me. This, my friends, is happiness. I've got my goddess on. I hand carved her, my goddess. So I've got the Lilith energy with me today. It's funny how she came up in my readings and I chose to wear this today. The goddess is with us, my darlings, always and forever. Our earth, our cosmos, swirling in infinity. Today I manifested joy by having coffee and pizza with Terry and Joanne and Amanda. We chatted with other customers and it was very convivial. Beauregard sat under the table and mooched Italian sausage and pizza crusts. He really enjoyed his day out with de Mama. I love my little Schnorrer. Schnorrer is Yiddish for someone who begs, for a panhandler or beggar. 9:05 a.m. Awake after the first decent sleep in several nights. Wow. Let's see what the universe can throw at me today. Hopefully I have a good day after yesterday's epic horror. I will stick to my vow I made while bollocking my doctor. I will manifest joy in my life. Otherwise, my entire existence has no point or reason and is just an exercise in osmosing mouth breathing of emptiness. Already lived like that for over 20 years, surrounded by false friends and evil, perverted family. So the alternatives are either death or an entirely different, wild, carefree, joyous life on my own terms, unsullied and unstymied by ghouls from the past. Let the river of effluent flow, fertilise my soul in more kinder, more nourishing ways, shine in my hard-won glory. Yup, I got this. No longer a prisoner of others' false love and deceptions and constant treachery. I have deloused and unplagued myself. I am healing. I may bear scars that are unseen by the unevolved eyes, but they are my shield of a warrior goddess. Streaming like titanium in the sunshine of my crondom, psychedelic swirls and ecstatic twirls, pirouettes of cosmic delight. They threw me onto the garbage heap of life and cut and gnawed and sliced and diced, but I grew back like a tree. I burst into flames of fury that scorched and cleansed, then dropped my precious bundle and grew again. If you are not with me, you are agin me, motherfuckers. I am whom I am becoming, staying sane and aware in a world of plastic, fantastic artifice. Not so bad. Just gonna have a sip of tea. A few gulps because it was actually going cold. And I can't stand cold tea, unless it's a proper iced tea prepared for summer, you know. But cold milky tea, bleh. Anyway, it was a bit borderline, that tea, but I have imbibed it now. I was supposed to take my dry cleaning down and still haven't done it. I was supposed to try and get my passport forms finally printed out. That was stressful and I gave up on it, but I do need to do it. Haven't done it. I was going to do this and I was going to do that. But anyway, I'm more focused now on reserving my energies for tomorrow. So things are going to have to fall into place around that. It's how I manage my anxiety. Oh, and I finally heard from my beautiful, handsome, loving friend Jared yesterday. And he invited me to go with him to the markets at Kilcoy in early December. So I was most astonished because did I not make that video yesterday saying I need to get my ass to the markets, but it's too hard and I hate the markets and they're triggering and I can't manage it with my health at the moment. It's all too hard and too overwhelming and I'm not well and blah, blah, blah. And then literally he hadn't seen the video yet because it was still uploading when he phoned me. And he literally, from my lips to God's ears, says, let's go and do the markets together, Tanya. It'll be a fun day out. And whether we make any money or not, you know, it's something to do. And you know, somewhere further away in Kilcoy, which apparently is near Woodford. It was a bit odd that he wanted to go to night markets so far away, but why not? I've got the stuff sitting here to try and sell. So, and also because I said to him, I'm really not well, Jared. He says, well, you can cancel on the day if you feel terrible. And I said, oh, no, I said, it'll be good to go to the markets with you because then, you know, we can help each other and have fun together and it won't feel like such an overwhelming burden trying to schlep everything in the car and do it all by myself. You can help me a bit and I can help you a bit. And it's company for both of us. And it'll be like the old days when we used to work together in my business, right? We always had fun working together, you know, because we're simpatico, you know. And he's going to be selling his beautiful fairy, hand-painted, beautiful fairy portraits and prints, and his his selfie fairies that he also does, and I'll be selling my jewellery. So I'm very excited about that, actually. It's something to look forward to. I just hope that I'm well enough on the day, because it's going to be a long day. Well, because we have to leave at lunchtime and we won't get back till late at night. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Jared's used to my trauma issues and my personality and my ways, so he just fits in with me beautifully. And that is a great gift when you have dear, loving friends who are, after 32 years, have become your family, that they know how to cope with your unique personality, right? Which for new people can be a bit confronting, because they don't understand my walk. Whereas Jared's been on that walk with me all along, 32 years now. Yeah. Actually, it'll be 30. No, it's 33 years now. Did I meet him in 1990 or 1992? I actually can't remember. Isn't that funny? I've gone blank. If it was 1992, then it's 31 years, and next year it'll be 32 years. And if it was 1990, it'll be 34 years next year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've known each other for 3 decades. Enough is enough, man. Let's not split hairs over a year. But it just shows you my brain's starting to lose facts. That's not good. Wake up, wake up. Stay sane in the membrane. Don't get Alzheimer's like your fucking evil mother. Because even that was a curse I would not have wished on that evil bitch. That was a horrible fate, man. I don't desire that end. I don't, but I've got the genetics, so I worry. I worry when my brain can't sustain little bits of information. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's just fully express joy, manifest joy, if nothing else, but as a defiance. So I continue. This is still 2018, I think we were into. Where were we? Yeah, 2018. 2018. That's 5 years ago, people. 5 years. Those 5 years have flown past. I dreamed of my first boss, Susie van der Kwast, this morning. I was looking at her standing in a window. She looked exactly the same as when I knew her in her late 40s. Beautiful, powerful, in her own unique madness. She did not see me in the dream, but I watched, and she was luminous. Like a light was shining upon her, basked in golden sunshine. Someone quipped, "Look at her. Her skin is flawless. She's had work done," which in real life she did have work done, by the way, in her 40s and 50s. So it was kind of a memory of my mother making jibes about her having a plastic, fantastic face, right? When in actual fact, my mother was a bit jealous of Susie, because Susie was extremely wealthy and had the body of a supermodel, and long and lanky with her Dutch figure shape, you know, long, tall, lanky, elegant, but very avant-garde. She was a real icon in Wellington, New Zealand, and very avant-garde and very powerful, very wild, very free. Happily married, but she had a history, let's just put it that way. But who cares? Everyone alive has a history, babies. I shrugged. Let her be happy, I said. So that was my response to, I don't know who the spirit was that was mocking her, saying, look at her flawless skin. But my standard response was, let her be happy. Perhaps she has died recently. I have no way of knowing. She loved me, that screaming harridan of a woman, recognised my light as a fellow survivor, made me feel valued. At a time in my adolescence when I had barely survived my own family and felt utterly worthless, but was, as I was created to do, standing in my own light and fight and hard-won innate dignity and striving to strut my own stuff. I worked hard in that infamous coffee shop, lol. I would come home from work beyond exhausted and have a breakdown every weekend. I badly needed support and therapy back then. Bear in mind I was also at university through the week at that time, during that time period when I worked. I started working for her in the middle of my school certificate exams, which was around about October, November, the end of the year, when I was 15 years old. So I would have been 15 and a half years old. And I stopped working for her not long before my engagement or my marriage. I married at 19. Yeah, I think I worked for her for about 4 years. And when I left working there, it wasn't because of Susie, it was because of some nasty fucking bitch Australian manageress that was jealous of me, or I don't know, wanted to replace me for one of her frickin' nepotistic cohorts or whatever. But anyway, I was over it by then. It was hard work waitressing because it was a coffee shop, but it had an upper level, so you were constantly running up and down stairs, bringing trays of food to people. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I tell you, I was slim in those days. It was a bloody workout. And with my lung problems, even as a young girl, I wasn't well even then. So it was a strain on me. But anyway, so I cherished my friends, my veritable lifelines, and got married far too young. Foolishly thinking it would keep me safe. Nuh-uh, fool. But anyway, Susie, wherever you are now, I dreamed a little dream of you. Did you dream of me? And from the comments section, my friend Sally Castle. Susie did indeed pass away recently. There was an article in Stuff. Susie van der Kwast, who gave birth to the capital's cafe scene, has died at the age of 80. And then she posts the link to the article. And I replied, oh wow, she was a survivor of child sexual abuse also. It is true about her telling customers there was room. She used to send me out, age 16, to badger customers lined up outside that there would be a seat for them by the time they got to the counter. It was an exercise in chutzpah. I would drag people in looking sheepish and red-faced, and the demure New Zealand customers looking befuddled and confused. And she would yell, Tanya is my hostess. She had an unusual way of pronouncing my name with her Dutch accent. It was very unusual. I still remember it to this day. This caused jealousy and friction with my co-workers due to my young age laughing my ass off. She really liked and trusted me. When staff failed to show up, Tom, that's her husband, would appear at my house early in the morning. I abhor early mornings. In his BMW, and he'd say, "Susie needs you to fill in." I mean, really, it was a boundary violation because I wasn't rostered to work that day. I'm living my best life, sleeping in, exhausted, always chronic fatigued, even as a young girl, exhausted, right? And they're banging down my door asking me to come into work. Like, really? You wouldn't do it to a dog, but, you know, this is what I had to endure with my family of origin and even the Van der Kwasts. Because Dutch people have a work ethic, they do. Give them credit. They're very hard-working people like the Germans, by and large, are. Work and work and work until you drop dead. And then on their gravestones they have, "Here's so-and-so after a lifetime of hard work as part," and they see that as a badge of honour. It's insane, really. I would haul ass out of bed and put my uniform on, white blouse and black skirt, and when I got to work, she would yell at me for not wearing makeup. Like, literally, I would literally have 10 minutes to get dressed and get in his car and go to work, right? Dragged out of my deep sleep, by the way. But I didn't have makeup on. Sinner, repent. I was still, here I write, I was still in sleep mode, for Christ's sake. And she'd send me upstairs to where she kept makeup to smother my young face in goop. At 15 or 16, you don't need makeup, darlings. You're still a fresh-faced bouquet of youth, right? Not to Susie's mind. So I'd smother my young face in goop to be fit to serve her customers, laughing my ass off. I suppose she wanted me to cover up the pimples and the acne and things like that. Well, yeah, all right, fair cop. Pimples and acne on young girls is not exactly beautiful, but, you know, I was a young girl. I was still actually a child, like 16, for the love of God. Anyway, she was a terrible screamer like my mother, and because I was raised that way, I was one of the few employees that knew how to cope with her. I did love her in a way. She was tough, beautiful, avant-garde in her style of dress, and fair-minded. Like myself, she got over her rages fairly quickly. And she wasn't one to harp on and on and on and bear a grudge like Margaret did in the Aussie manageress that I left the job because of her. She'd nitpick at you all fucking day about something that happened at first thing in the morning, and she'd ride you about, and I'd be like, fuck off. Like, it's a big universe. Life has moved on since 8 o'clock this morning, you know? I can't stand that kind of mentality. Like little gnawing fucking flea-bitten vermin it was. But anyway, I am not surprised she died of lung cancer, as she smoked like a chimney all her life, but must be devastated. He was her only child. See, the thing about going back to temper tantrums, the thing with Susie and my style too, is we'll get into a blazing rage or temper about something, and we'll just like let it all out, and then it's gone, it's done, it's forgotten, put it aside, it's out of you, it's dealt with, you know, rather than this insidious nitpicking that goes on for weeks and months and years and just drains the fuck out of everyone. I hate that. I really do. Anyway, back to the story. I met many celebrities, although I was too young to realise it. I had opportunities, people. I had opportunities. Such an idiot. But I was a child still. Peter Jackson used to talk loudly and impressively about his filmmaking, eyeing me off a bit, I would smile politely. I had no idea who he was really. I thought he was just a poser. I would smile politely, but roll my eyes as I walked away. I always hated posers. Well, had I known back then that he was destined to make Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I might have taken him more seriously. Tanya. What can I say, Tanya? Another regular customer was a transvestite who adored me, as I called them sir when they appeared as a man, and madam when they appeared in really bad middle-aged dowager drag. They wanted me to be the first woman New Zealand Chief Justice and were convinced I was destined for great things. Sweet. A sweetheart. But I dropped out of varsity and have done nothing but fail at life ever since. Not really through any fault of my own either. Anyway, I will have a drink in her memory tomorrow night. Susie Vanderquast's memory. She would have loved my dancing like a mad woman at the casino in my corsets and big attitude. God bless her and me. So she died on Thursday the 8th of November, and I dreamt of her yesterday morning, Thursday 22nd of November. Wow, how lovely of her to say goodbye. And as I said, she was irradiated in golden sunshine light, which actually told me that she had probably passed. My cousin said, kinda like, just in case you didn't know, she must have had high regard for you, cousin, hoping you're catching sleep now. And I replied, yes, I feel really surprised and humbled and honoured by the spirit world lately. I have dreamt of Susie before over the years, but by the sunlight streaming on her face, I knew this was different. I pray she finds rest and peace with the Ein Sof Or. Now with all those old memories, I have insomnia again. Fuck. Oh well, sleep is only for the dead and my former zombie self. And I've got to go. I'll be right back in part 2.